Hey everybody, it's Wednesday. I hope you're doing good. It's 3 o'clock. I have not painted anything. I thought I would grab a brush and some water and do one of these Diane Antone Easiest Flowers You'll Ever Paint tutorials. I love this process. I do a few little different things with it, but highly recommend that you check out Diane. I'll put a link in the description box below. The first thing that we want to do is get a fairly large brush. I also have to point out that I've been in the garden and what? Fingernails are like super dirty, even though I was wearing gloves. I don't know what happened there. I like to kind of work through these paintings and do them several times and get different results from them. I'm going to kind of refer to this one as I flip back and forth, so you'll kind of see what I'm doing here. The cool thing about these paintings, y'all, is the different way that you can get color, that you can get shape and size and things like that. I like doing, like I said, I like doing these over and over because I think I really learn something every single time that I do them. I might kind of switch up the colors here a little bit. I've been experimenting with colors. My palette is one that somebody gave me a long time ago. It has 36 colors in it. It's not cheap to me because I love it and I've used it for a long time. But I think it is like a cheap-ish palette. It wasn't expensive. I did look it up like on Amazon, and Amazon has something similar for around $10. I really don't know the manufacturer of this. I just don't have any idea. But it's really fun to, I'm kind of super bad about polluting my paints. And it's nice to work with. I don't work with a palette yet. I'm sure that, that might come along at some point. Just a little handy hint, if you're going to do something like this, it's good to kind of fill up the page. Don't be tentative about it. That was one of my big issues when I first started doing this. It was like I was afraid to fill up the palette. So I'm just kind of going back and looking at some sizes of things and the things that I did that really worked out. I love this cluster right here. So I want to do something like that, and I'll probably, let's do that in purple this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's fun to refer to what you've done before, especially if you've reached a level of liking it. You know how that works? It's like, I painted it, but I don't like it. And it's fun to get to a point where you're going, oh man, that's fun. Did I do that? Did I actually do that? It's a very fun, cool place to get to. Okay, so I see I've got another little kind of a small-ish cluster right here. So I'm just gonna, and I'm not doing anything extraordinary or special. What I was going to tell y'all about is the cluster thing. So make them big and allow them to be kind of close together. You see how the circles are kind of close together? I'm learning a whole lot about brushes, and mostly I'm learning about energy. And I used to make books. Now I still do make some books, but there was just such an energy in the whole flow journal making books sort of process that just absolutely just intrigued me from the get-go. And I loved making books. And I'm not doing it right now, but you know, who knows? I might do it a little bit later. Might do something. I did watercolor when my kids were small. It was something that I could sit down and knock out pretty quickly. That was a long time ago. And that was like 40 years ago. It was a long time ago. I haven't revisited watercolor in quite some time. So this has been, you know, just a lot of fun. I wanted to show y'all the top of this little paint palette here, because this is where if I want to mix a color, I usually mix it right here. But like I said, I'm kind of not good about keeping my palette unpolluted. Please visit Diane Antone. She is, I can't even describe it. She's funny, she's witty, she's charming, she's English, she's got lots and lots of wisdom, and I just think that she is just a stellar person to watch on YouTube. You know, a lot of times we watch people who, no, I'm not even going to say it. She is super, super inspiring. All right, let me show you. We're going to let that dry for just a minute. I'm going to show you some of these like markers that I have. These are some markers that Chris had and he did a project with, and he was kind of done with them. So he put them in our little paint box, and these are what I've been using to do some embellishments. These are Derwent graphic line painters. They are a water-based pigment painter. I'm having so much fun with these. The only hitch in the giddy up there is that some of them are kind of dried up. I'm also using a Jelly Roll 10. This is a Sakura Jelly Roll 10. I bought a pack at Amazon for, I think it was like $6, something like that. I like them because they're made in Japan, and you do get 3 different sizes here. You get a 5, an 8, and a 10 for embellishments. I'm really liking the 10. The other thing that I'm using is just a plain Sharpie permanent marker. This is an ultra fine point on this Sharpie marker. I have a fine point Sharpie marker as well. So you can get the gist, y'all, that you can kind of use what you have and create something like this. And it's really, really fun. We're going to, the next thing that Miss Diane suggests is joining these flowers together. Also, another super happy thing about doing things like this is the first time since I've sat down I've had to put my reading glasses on, because we are going to do like a little fine line. To me, this is tricky, so I will, I'll just kind of do some painting here and not talk very much. We're going to join these together. Now, Miss Diane says you don't have to join them together, but I like that look. My hand is shaky because I was out in the garden and I was plucking. We have bluebells, just a huge amount of bluebells. Bluebells will fall over. When they're all done, they fall over and then they start to stink. I had to get out there and pull some things. So we've kind of joined that together. I'm gonna still use, this is a kind of a turquoise-ish blue. I want the leaves to not be quite matching I don't want the leaves to be quite matching the stems. I want a little bit. Okay, so that's really good. Another super cool thing about working in a sketchbook like this is that you can kind of use the top portion of the sketchbook. You could also, I'm doing a landscape-ish sort of style here, but you could flip it and do it vertically, you know, which would be just fine too. But I like doing this. This is like It's not 9 by 12. It's like 8, 8.5 by 8.5 by 10.5, something like that. It is a sketchbook from Michael's, and I got it at the end of the, like an end of season sale, and it was $3, man, on their like discount rack, and I was like, oh, that's super cool right there. So I picked me up one of those. The other thing that you'll see Diane do, which I love, is she will take the leaves out and around. It's the only the way I know to describe it. So we're gonna put a leaf here. She also has a tutorial, and I just found that one, about how to paint leaves. And I think that will be a lot of fun, because I'm just kind of going off the cuff here, and my leaves don't look exactly super duper, but oh well. The thing about the leaves is you're going to embellish them, right? So, I mean, they don't have to look. Don't do that. Don't do what I just did. Miss Diane says do it and then just leave it alone. She also mentioned that, and I didn't realize this, that colors, when they dry, they're going to dry lighter. So we should never be really fussed about how dark something is on the page. Again, I'm looking for a nice color. That's pretty. I like that. I'm using a Westwater Enterprises Zero paintbrush. Again, this is something that somebody gave me a long time ago. I've had it like forever and ever. So blessed to have folks who had art supplies and passed them along to me, or they had, you know, a palette and passed it along to me. I feel super blessed to have such good friends. And I have to like send a shout out to my patrons, because if it weren't for them, I truly don't know what I would do. I gave my doggies their heartworm medicine this morning, and now we're back to flea and tick medicine as well. Susie has to have a checkup. Holy Toledo. But they're worth it. Again, we're going to kind of do some leaves outside the thingy there. I think I'll put one here. Okay, let's rinse the brush. Now we're going to connect the stems over here. Aren't greens just fun to work with? And you don't even have to do it in green. You can do it in brown, or, you know. Like I said, I was out in the garden, and, you know, the colors are starting to fade, but there's such a beauty in the colors that I see out there. Just such a, even when they're fading, they're gorgeous. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, even when they're just not at their height, they're just beautiful. Now this is dark. This is like almost black. I discovered that when I did stems that I pulled everything to the right. So I'm gonna pull this one to the left because I remembered to not pull it to the right. I'm kind of liking that brown blackish color with these blue flowers right here. That's fun. This one's a little bit darker. I'm going to move my paint markers out of the way for a second. Let me kind of finish these up. And I think I'll put one here. I do keep a paper towel with me while I'm doing this. The paper towel is turning out stunning, y'all. Look at that. Look at all that fun color we got going on there. What am I going to do with that? I remember Jenny Belly had a video about using, man, what was it? She could use her towelettes, what am I trying to say? You know what I'm talking about. Okay, I did that one that way, so let's go this way. Wet wipes. Geez, that was not coming to me. Did you see how long that took? Holy cow. Leaves are fun. They have like a movement to them. Just makes them fun to do. Okay, I think with this one, I'm going to come straight down. That was one of my notes to myself. I'll show you my notes. It's in this, you know, I'm just going to call this a paint journal because really that's kind of what it is. There's a dog here. How'd that happen? Anyway, shout out to my patrons. Thank y'all so much for your kindness and your support. Man, I appreciate y'all so much. I also think I might make leaves upside down. I don't think that's quite right, but you know what? If you really focus on perfect and if you just focus on right, it's like, this isn't fun anymore. I just want to have fun. Like Cyndi Lauper, who I have to tell you that I was in an 80s rock band, and we did Cyndi Lauper, and we did Heart, and we did Pat Benatar. Those were fun days. I had a lot of fun singing that music way back when. Okay, took up that. All right, I think we'll do this one to the left. I did that one in like a brightish green, so let's go back to a little bit of brown for this one. The fun thing about these, and Diane talks about this in the videos that she has at her channel, is that you can take something like this to this point and then have some TV time. And she likes the same things I do. She likes Rockford Files and she likes Better Call Saul. And you kind of sit in front of the television and work your way and do the embellishments for this. Now, see, isn't that clever? I think I'm just going to drop in a leaf here because there's a bit of room. I'll give that one a little tail. All right, got one left. I think first started this, and I'll show you my first one while this one's drying. I was just going small, and I think that that's just indicative of uncertainty. And I was thinking about it like in the middle of the night, and I was thinking, it's just not quite turning out like I really did want it to. And then it just kind of hit me that I wasn't being free with what I was doing. I was trying to do it right and do it perfectly, and I was like, that's always a mistake, and I know that. I love to, you guys have seen me glue book, right? Good grief. That's a hoot right there, because, it's very spontaneous. You've seen me do collage and just pick up whatever and kind of go with it. All right, I'm going to let that dry for just a minute. And while it's drying, I'll just kind of show you this, which I was really happy with. But you can see that I went really small with the blossoms. I did this one on 4/19. I've been painting since April the 10th. So this was on the 9th day that I did this. And I was going super, super small with my, for lack of a better word, blobs. These watercolor blobs that I've been putting on the paper. You can see how tiny this one was. And when I realized that, I put a note in my book that said, hold on, not all flowers have to be outlined. Stems to the left, straight and right. Now I'm reading, my notes. These are some swatches that I've made. Not all flowers need to be outlined and embellished. Needs to be bigger. So painting watercolor flowers and adding doodles, I always realized that everything needed to be bigger. This paper is 8.5 by 10.5. And I think this was the first one that I did. And you can see how super teeny small it is. Okay, I think we are dry enough over here. That's another cool thing about watercolors. It dries, it dries really, really fast. Oh, I did get that. That's all right. It's not a big deal. As a matter of fact, I kind of like it. Kind of looks cool like that. All right, we are going to embellish. I like to go back and kind of, again, I'm going to go back to this one because this is my favorite one that I've done so far. And I'm going to pick up some embellishments here. The first thing that I'm going to do is grab my Jelly Roll 10. Again, this is a Sakura white pen. I have trouble with white pens because they tend to stop working, and that was really troubling to me. And then I decided that I needed to just let go of that because sometimes things don't work, and you might have to do it a couple times. I love, love, love Diane's interpretation of swirls. So we're going to do swirls, life swirls, and that's what I call them. For one thing, they're nearly mesmerizing to work with, to put on paper. They're inspiring. I love to work with them. They make me feel really good when I can sit here and just do life spirals. They're very healing. They're very meditative. All right, so we've got some spirals going on there. Next thing I want to do is pick up this, here's a thing. You can go to the pound shop, the Dollar Tree, and get this stuff. You could get yourself a little pad of paper. You could get yourself a small palette. You could pick up a Sharpie and, you know, a white Sharpie or whatever, and just go to town. Don't wait until you have stuff to do things. I should put that on a t-shirt. Don't wait. Don't wait to have stuff to do things. I'm glad I'm recording this because I would never have remembered that. All right, so we're going to do some of these little swirly things, not swirly things, but just 3 little lines and this. And then you'll see what we're going to do with those dots right there. I am still have the thing that I had in January that was a bad cold that devolved into what I guess is allergies, and I've never had allergies in my whole life, but I think that's what it is. I'm going to do swirls right here. And I'm really sorry that anybody has allergies. My sister's brother-in-law was visiting from California, and my sister lives in Georgia, and they have an outdoor area, and he came in one morning, and he had been sitting out there, and she said he was just alarmed, and she said, "What is wrong?" And he said, "What is all that yellow stuff you have going on outside?" And my sister was like, "It's pollen." They don't have pollen in California. I thought everywhere had pollen, but apparently not. Wouldn't you know it, my Sharpie is leaking. Look at that. Shoot. Well, we're just going to have to use it like it is. I don't know why. Oh my goodness, it's really leaking, y'all. I don't know what caused that. All right. I'll have to let her rest for a minute. I do have another one, so I'm going to grab that. Whoops. Okay, I'm going to take the top off. Gosh, it even got on the Sakura and all of in my hands. Oh, thank goodness it didn't like plop on the little painting that we were working on. This one is a bit played out, but it does make really nice marks on the stems as well as the leaves. So one of the things that I have learned from Diane, and I've learned so much, is that when you're highlighting things like leaves, that just go outside or inside the paint. That's what she said, go outside or inside the paint. So, you know, you can really make them, they look painterly, right? When you do it like that. All right, now I'm gonna just do some leafy things. Just like that. This one. I haven't gotten quite as brave as I need to be with leaves yet. But they are fun. And they're fun to go back and play with a white pen. Okay. Speaking of white pen, let's pick that baby up. And I think I'm just going to add some circles right here. I'm kind of trying to keep this a bit simple because I just don't generally paint on a video, and I gotta tell you, I was like really nervous about, one, I haven't done videos in so long, and two, I'm a very novice painter. All right, I do see that I need to bring this down a little bit. Now we're going to, I'm going to use one of these graphic line painters. This is a #1 set. And this is what it looks like. I'm going to shake it up. I'm going to take the cap off up here so don't mess anything up. Okay, and we're getting some good red. So I'm just going to go back with red and do these flowers. They're a lot of fun if you just put that red tip on them. And there we go. Woohoo! Okay, we're ready to start this one. Diane has like the, man, she just has like it going on with embellishments. She's got like a crazy imagination. She says she doesn't, but she totally does. I really liked the way that these came out. So I think that's what we'll do. I think I started with just a little bit of white pen. And you know, you don't have to embellish every single flower, but it is like fun when you do it. So we got a little bit of white right here. These almost look like tulips. And I think we kind of just did something like this. I'm scared of that Sharpie, y'all. But I think I'm gonna have to use it. Maybe that was just you know what? If it all goes bad, then I'll just make a butterfly or something. That's what I did on my first one, but I had a different pen. But oh my lord, it like leaked all over everywhere. And I think this is the last one I'm gonna do, so this video doesn't get unbearably long. I'll do a part 2. And I've decided I like this better if I don't outline anything. I was trying to do a little sketchy outline of the flowers, and I didn't like it so much. All right. I'm afraid to do that quite yet. So I'm going to use my little Sharpie that's kind of played out, as they say in Virginia. I did not understand that word when I came here. I was like, what does that mean? They talked about clothes being played out and ideas being played out, and I was like, I don't know what that is. And they gotta explain that to me. Chris said, you know, used up. I was like, oh, got it. Okay. my gosh, so scared. Okay, there we go. Take this little sketchy baby. Just kind of go over. Okay, now they aren't, none of them are working. Oh, there we go. Come on, just a little bit. Another thing that I like is to kind of put a white center in there. I did swatch leaf shapes so I can, again, you know, sit downstairs with some pens. And think of, you know, fun shapes to finish up the flowers with. Okay, now that I'm sufficiently dirty from the garden and inky from the pens, we're going to call this one done. I will be back to do a part 2 and finish my embellishing of this. Go visit Diane Antone. I will leave her linked in the description box below. She is fabulous. Okay, talk to y'all soon. Thanks for watching.